we want to determine the derivative of the given function. Notice how we have a quotient raised to the third power. So we have a composite function as well as a quotient. So to determine whether we should apply the chain rule first or the quotient rule first, we need to recognize that this quotient is the inner function of a cubing function. So when we have a composite function, we need to let u equal the inner function. So in this case, this entire quotient would be u. So now we can write f in terms of u as just u to the third. And again, we can do this because we're letting u equal the quotient x squared plus 2 divided by x minus 8. So now I can apply the extended power rule or the power rule with the chain rule as we see here to determine this derivative. So f prime of x is going to be equal to the derivative of u cubed with respect to u would be 3u squared times u prime, where u prime is derivative of u with respect to x. So this is our derivative, but of course we need to have our derivative in terms of x. So we could substitute this quotient for u, but we still need to determine u prime. So let's go over here on the side and determine u prime. Since u is a quotient, we'll have to apply the quotient rule. So we'll let the numerator equal f and the denominator equal g. So to determine u prime, we'll start with the denominator, and here's the quotient rule just in case we need to reference it. The denominator is just going to be g squared, so we'll have the quantity x minus 8 squared, and then we'll have the denominator times the derivative of the numerator minus the numerator times the derivative of the denominator. So again, our denominator times the derivative of our numerator, which would be 2x, minus our numerator times the derivative of the denominator, which would just be 1. Now let's simplify this. We have u prime is going to be equal to, denominator stays the same, and the numerator is going to be 2x squared minus 16x minus x squared minus 2. And notice how we have two like terms here. So for u prime, our numerator is going to be x squared minus 16x minus 2. Now let's go back over to the derivative of f. We can now perform the substitutions for u as well as u prime. So we'll have 3 times u squared, and u is this quotient here, so we'll have x squared plus 2 over x minus 8 raised to the second times u prime, which is here in green, so we'll have x squared minus 16x minus 2 over the quantity x minus 8 squared. Now let's go ahead and multiply these fractions together. This fraction here is being squared, so we have 2 factors of x minus 8 here, and we have 2 more here. So we have a total of 4 factors of the quantity x minus 8. And then the numerator would be 3 times 2 factors of x squared plus 2, and just 1 factor of our trinomial x squared minus 16x minus 2. So this one was kind of fun, but this would be our derivative function. I hope you found this helpful.